Hello and welcome to my Dapp to Task 2 personal learning presentation where we're talking about my strengths, my weaknesses and my reflections and my time throughout placement and throughout second year. So starting off with my academic year 2 and the events that have happened so far. So I've completed 4 out of 6 modules thus far, and I've completed part 1 of this module which was an interview back in October. I've also completed my Pecha Kutcher presentation at the start of the year, which allowed me to reflect on my coaching journey so far, not just at uni but in general. I've also got a personal development plan here, which I'll show you, which shows what I wanted to aim and achieve from this year. So my long-term vision is to finish my degree with a 2-1 in sports coaching. I'd then like to gain my PGCE and from there become a PE teacher. My main mission for coaching is to become a participation coach for children. I'd like to be coaching multi-skills sports sessions, kind of a range of sports to different ages and lots of different abilities. I'd also like to leave university with a number of coaching qualifications, both in my chosen sport, which is football, and lots of different sports which I might not have coached before. So those are my long-term objectives. For academic side, receive a 2-1, gain a minimum score of 60% in my dissertation, and get the grade which is a 2-1 for the PGCE. And then for coaching, I'd like to coach a variety of sports, gain as much experience as possible, and then after the 3rd year in the summer holidays, I'd like to get my level 2 coaching qualification in football. And as you can see as I scroll down here, this is what I've done and this is what I said I'm going to do in order to achieve these goals. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Just going to talk about my strengths and weaknesses prior to placement. So my strengths are I was coaching regularly beforehand, so I had relevant experience and my confidence was already quite high when I was coaching because I was coaching regularly going into it. I'd attended all my lectures and seminars, so I was familiar, understood the modules, knew what I had to do for my assignments. I've got a level 1 football qualification and I've got a level 2 qualification in multi-skills. I've also coached in different areas and to different participants, different abilities, different age ranges. So I think that's given me a good experience of coaching different people. And every assignment and formative task that I've done so far has been handed in on time. My weaknesses, I would say, is time management. Sometimes I rush to complete tasks. Maybe I lack self-confidence sometimes when I'm coaching unfamiliar activities. And sometimes I feel pressured when having to do tasks on the spot without having adequate time to plan. By gaining my qualifications, I'm confident enough in my abilities to carry out my work on the weekend to a high standard, and I think I can deliver it to the standard that the company expect. Another of my strengths is high attendance. This is important as it allows me to improve academically, and I've got the confidence to complete assignments to the best of my abilities. As the theory states as well, I've got a quote here from Al-Shamari, who states that there is a clear link between a student's attendance in higher education and a student's achievements. My final strength is, by coaching regularly alongside my studies, it's given me the opportunity to take things that I've learned during the week at university and apply them in a practical environment. This is backed by theory as well. Lamar 2007 that states the best way for a coach to gain experience is to regularly coach. One of my weaknesses at the start of the second year was time management. This could be down to poor planning and not being proactive enough and completing them early on. Williams and Reed state that poor planning is a key factor in time management, and if your days aren't organised or routine, then tasks won't be completed on time, leading to pressure later on. This is a quick example of my the reflective cycle that I was using. So I was using Gibbs, and it's a 6-point action plan. So moving on to my reflections, But before that, I just want to talk about how reflections can benefit me. So I've got a quote here from Brooke, Bank and McGill 2012, who state that the benefits of reflecting and observing for feedback alongside other methods can lead to effective problem solving for your coaching. So it can help to eliminate problems you may face whilst I'm coaching. Just moving on to my pre-placement reflection. It was prior to starting, and my placement was in 2 primary schools in the Peak District as a trainee PE teacher. I chose this placement as I wanted to do PE teaching in the future, so I felt this was ideal for me. And what I wanted to get out of it was gain as much knowledge, experience, and ideas of drills, sessions, overall that I could do. Before it started, slightly nervous, although also quietly confident because I had a large amount of experience working with the children this age. There was a bit of confidence there along with the nerves. What I aimed to do was to pull together my past experience from all the different areas to aid me at the new schools. And I wanted to use a coaching ethos which I've developed, which is provide a caring coaching style to the younger children whilst challenging the older children to push themselves and try their best. And I wanted to link theoretical framework to this, which is why I've linked Haskins' 5 C's, where I want to be a caring coach. And in conclusion, I believe that by pulling on your past experience, it can help to better yourself for the future and make you feel more prepared. Moving on to my first week of placement, I was thrown into the deep end quite quickly, asked to do drills, take small groups, officiate games, things like that. Although I wasn't expecting this from the off, I was quite glad because it meant that I had an instant bond and connection with the pupils. It meant that I was thrown in there, and it was kind of a sink or swim moment. And then moving on to my analysis, we were coaching different sessions that I wasn't used to, so such as gymnastics and dance. And in the past, I haven't really done a lot of that, so I was slightly nervous. But then I thought, well, let's just have a go, just get stuck in. And I tried to think of some dance moves and kind of facilitate their learning. But what I realised was that it's not for me to come up with it. It's meant to be a democratic kind of session. So all I had to do was facilitate the session and make sure it's an environment where all the children felt comfortable to create their best ideas. And that's what I've taken to go forward again, that I would definitely use a democratic coaching style going forward for this rather than an autocratic one. Moving on to my midpoint reflections. This was after the week 3. Thoroughly enjoyed my time so far here. I think it's because I was given a sense of responsibility. So I was tasked with running a lunchtime and after school club. I had to officiate games. I had to help officiate at competitions as well at different schools. I had to manage my own team at a different school as well. So all these different tasks I've really enjoyed because it's given me the freedom, and I haven't just been stuck shadowing someone for the whole time. I've had a bit of that, but I've had the ability and the option to go off on my own and really apply what I know. So this is why it's been brilliant so far. Also, working at 2 different primary schools has highlighted the difference in the amount of equipment and facilities that they have. One school's got a sports hall, the other one hasn't. They have to use a local village hall, so it's really highlighted the difference for me, the effect that equipment has on a school and the ability, kind of the standard of the PE lesson that you can deliver. And finally, going on to my post-placement evaluation. Overall, brilliant experience. Really enjoyed my 6 weeks. At the start, like I said earlier, I was a bit nervous about having to make a good impression straight away, but my self-confidence has improved over time in my ability to teach PE lessons. And like I say, just that freedom that I've got from lunchtime clubs after school clubs, officiating game leading drills, where I had no help with that. I had to come up with it on my own, which is what I enjoyed because I felt like that pushed me more than simply watching and assisting the main coach would have done. So overall, brilliant experience, really enjoyed it. And then going back to my academic results, here's just a few of them from this year. So as you can see here, the first Dapp result, I got 76 in the interview. I got a 2-1 in IID, a 2-1 in SCC, a 2-1 again in sports, in science apps. And then I was really pleased with the sports coaching process where I managed to get a first in, which I wasn't expecting. So I was really pleased with that. Overall, really pleased with how I'm progressing academically this year. At the start, I aimed to achieve all 2-1s or higher, which I've done, apart from SCP, which I got a first in, which I was really pleased with. And this is going to have a positive impact towards my final end of university grade, which I want a 2-1 in anyway. Knowing what grade I need in advance can be useful, as I can plan ahead for the future. As Steffi 2001 says, found that with proper planning usually increases usually a student achievement increase follows. And at the start of the second year, I managed to get a second day of paid coaching each week. So this meant that I doubled my coaching time, which hopefully not doubled my progress, but definitely improved me a lot more than once a week would have done. And it's been in 2 different locations as well, which has been good, as I've got to see different kind of styles of coaching in different areas. And this has proved my self-confidence. McClement has emphasised how your self-confidence can affect you in social situations and improve your leadership, which I think it definitely has. And like I say, following on from my PDP, I've been coaching footballs on a Saturday and Sunday morning. I've got a paid job ready for when I go back over summer, along with a bit of volunteering to teach PE at school. And in my placement, I gained experience in lots of different activities, which is what I wanted, such as dance and gymnastics. I also achieved a 2-1 or higher in all my modules, including a first in 3 assignments in 1 module, which was kind of above and beyond what I expected, to be honest. So I was really pleased with that. And yeah, going on into the future, I want to graduate from university with a grade of 2-1 or higher, if I can. And then from there, I'd like to do my PGCE training in order to become a PE teacher. I also want to continue to coach as many different sports as I can in order to gain knowledge, and that I can deliver a high quality PE lesson as possible. Because surprisingly, what I wasn't expecting before going into placement, I thought I'd enjoy coaching the sports that I already knew. In fact, I enjoyed the coaching the sports that I haven't done before just as much as I did the ones that I know and love, such as gymnastics and dance. It was it was different for me. It was a challenge, but I really enjoyed it, and I think throwing myself into it and giving it my all really, really helped, and I got more out of it by doing that. However, in order to achieve progress in the future, I need to continue to set goals for myself in the future. So I've got a quote here from Law 2016, who states that in order to maximize performance and increase participants' motivation, your goal should be challenging, specific, and measurable. A weakness that I need to improve on is my time management. Although I feel like this has improved over the course of the 6 weeks because I've been having placement Monday to Friday and then working Saturday, Sunday. I feel like this has improved, but it can still be worked on when I move from the coaching side to the academic side and make sure that I start my work early. And Britton et al. States the importance of time management for university students, who states that effective skills of planning, being organised, and from there your time management will improve. This can help your grades. And for the rest of my time at university and possibly after this, I'll continue to improve both academically and as a coach with the help of my PDP that I've been using and my reflective models, such as Gibbs's reflective model. Yeah, and here's my references. Thank you for watching. Cheers.